I know that a lot of you have seen this video on YouTube and you ask yourself, is this real? Is it too good to be true? Or is it a scam? You can earn thousands of dollars sports betting, guaranteed, no matter what happens in the game. This sounds a little bit too good to be true, right? In this video, we are going to dive into arbitrage betting, and I am going to explain everything about this strategy, cover it all, also give you some best tips and tricks, and then also answer some FAQs. This is the sports betting strategy that I started with way back in September of 2021. And in 2.5 weeks of utilizing this strategy, I earned almost $5,000. And this amount that I earned arbitrage betting exceeded my 9-to-5 2-week paycheck that I would receive from my job. And so you're going to see a lot of people on social media like the Arb Father who utilizes this strategy and has earned $93,000 in 1 year. Or the Arb Thief, where he earned over $13,000 in 1 month. So the first thing that you need to understand with arbitrage betting is with this strategy, you don't need to know anything about sports. You don't need to know about the leagues, the teams, the players, the coaches, none of it. All we care about with this strategy is the price, which leads us into point number 2 with the price or the odds. All of these sports books are in competition for your business. That's why you constantly see it advertised everywhere you go, between FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM. Hey man, I'm Kevin Hart. Come on over to DraftKings. We want you to bet on our platform. So these sports books sometimes offer different unique promotions or sign-up bonuses, but the other way that they stand out from everyone else is they set their odds or their prices on their own. And because of that last sentence that I just said, that's how arbitrage betting is even possible. Now, arbitrage has been around for as long as the stock market's been around. Where in this example with sports betting, we're going to place 2 bets with 2 different sports books, place a different wager size for both, and lock in a guaranteed profit. The sports betting market is no different than the stock market, where you can wager on millions of different types of odds in the sports betting market. And within each sports book, there's roughly 50,000 odds across the board. Now, what arbitrage betting is and what OddsJam software does is it searches all of these thousands of different odds between all these different books, and every now and then the sports books are going to get a little out of sync or misaligned with their pricing. And in those instances, that's where we can pounce and place both wagers with 2 different books. So let's go through an example of an arbitrage bet. And in this example, this is considered a pre-game arbitrage wager, where we're looking at plays this afternoon and the game's not going to start for a few hours from now. So here's an example of an arbitrage bet that I locked in guaranteed profit no matter what happens. I placed a bet on FanDuel and a wager on Bet365 for Max Strus over 17.5 points and rebounds and under 17.5 points and rebounds. Now, no matter what happens, I'm going to make either $6 or $14, whether the over hits or the under hits. So let's break down the math. So over at FanDuel, I bet the over 17.5 points and rebounds for $160 on Max Strus. Over at Bet365, I bet the under 17.5 points and rebounds for $200. So my total investment on both bets combined is $360. If Max Strus goes out and has a tough game, he only scores 5 points and grabs 3 rebounds, well, that's a total of 8. So our under bet will win on Bet365, but our over bet would lose on FanDuel. So we would receive a total payout on Bet365 of $366.66. Remember, our total investment from Bet365 and FanDuel is $360, so we would receive a net profit of $6.66. Now, on the other hand, maybe Max Strus has an incredible game. He scores 19 points and grabs 4 rebounds. That's a total of 23. Well, in that case, our over bet would win on FanDuel and our under bet would lose on Bet365. So if we win this over on FanDuel, we're going to receive a total payout of $374.40. Our total investment was $360 from FanDuel and Bet365 combined, so we're going to profit a net profit of $14.40. Now, we just touched on a pregame arbitrage example where you can make really good money. But when the games are going on and it's live betting, your returns can be a lot higher. The problem is that the difficulty is raised a little bit with arbitrage betting when you're doing it live because, well, the odds are moving a lot faster in real time. So here's an example of a live arbitrage bet that I hit between FanDuel and Sugar House. And this is between the Nuggets and the Mavericks on the money line. One team's going to win and one team's going to lose. Now in this example, as you can see, I have a total investment of $335. No matter what team wins the basketball game, I'm going to receive my $335 back plus $57 of profit on top of it. And in this game, I waited until the fourth quarter. And the Nuggets were losing this game and then overtook the Mavericks and took the lead. So that's where prices can really fluctuate and get out of sync very quickly. And in any arbitrage situation, when you're dealing with plus and minus odds, you're always going to have more money wagered on the minus sign or the favorite sign and less money wagered on the plus sign or the underdog side. And another live betting example is this one right here in the NHL between the Carolina Hurricanes and Anaheim Ducks, where I placed this between FanDuel and Caesars. My total investment is $215. One team's going to win the hockey game, one team's going to lose, and no matter what happens, I was able to earn over $40 on this arbitrage play. So as you can see, this is a smaller investment of $215, and I was able to earn over $40. So one question I receive quite a bit is, well, what's the best time of the day to place these arbitrage bets? And I'll give you two different answers. Number one, I want to make sure that you have time set aside each day that you can allocate for arbitrage betting. So whatever time works best in your schedule, then start with that. But ideally, 1 to 2 hours before NBA games start or the NFL games start. That's when you're really going to see activity ramped up in the sports betting market. Why? Because that's when all the casual sports bettors are getting ready to bet on the game. Also, when there's any type of player news, whether it's injury news or lineups are changing, maybe Giannis isn't playing tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, that means Damian Lillard's going to have to step it up and probably increase his scoring output. Well, then that's a really good time that you're going to want to pounce on some arbitrage plays because prices are going to be really fluctuating. It's no different if Tesla announced that, hey, you know what, our Cybertruck, we're going to start selling it for $15,000 a truck. Well, that's major news. And so the stock price of Tesla is either going to go way up or way down. But either way, when news breaks, that's a great time to arbitrage. Another question would be, well, Billy, like how many arbitrage plays are out there in a day? And what it's really going to depend on is a few different factors. Number one, how many sports books are you signed up with, right? We don't know where the value is going to show up when it comes to these arbitrage plays. We don't know what league, what market, we have no idea. So the more sports books that you have accounts with, that gives you even more profitable betting opportunities. Another big factor is what time of the calendar year are you looking for these arbitrage bets? I'm recording this video in January. It's a great time right now with the college football playoffs, the NFL playoffs. We got the NBA, the NHL, college basketball, and for tennis, one of the major tournaments is going on right now, which is the Australian Open. So much is going on in the calendar right here in January. This is a very profitable time. Now, it's still profitable in June or July, but there's less activity and opportunities in the summer because we just have the MLB and the WNBA. So from September all the way through to April is an excellent time for a lot of arbitrage plays. From the summer months of May through August, there's still arbitrage plays out there, just the volume decreases a bit. The software that I use that finds me these arbitrage opportunities is OddsJam's arbitrage tool. And guys, linked in the description will be a 1-week free trial to OddsJam. And then use my code BILLYC. It's going to save you 35% off your first month after the trial ends. So the first thing that you want to do over at this tool is set up your filters. So maybe you only have a handful of sports books, like maybe a DraftKings, a BetRivers, a Bet365, and a FanDuel, right? You want to make sure that you take the time to set this up, and then your minimum maximum odds, I leave this completely blank. Now your percentage, what's the minimum ROI that you're willing to accept when attacking these arbitrage plays? As I mentioned, we're in January right now. This is a great opportunity. Maybe you just want to go anything that's maybe 2.5% or higher, or set this to 3%. Again, the sports guys, I leave everything just selected as all, same with the leagues. And with the markets, I want everything right here. Now the date range, you can change this up. Right now, if you want to just try to make as much money as you can within the next 24 hours, you can do so. If you want to look at over the course of the next 7 days, you could do that as well. And then what you want to do here is click Save Filter, right? And maybe that you want to call this Arbitrage with maybe some dollar signs, right? And then you want to click to the push notifications. Why you want to save the filter is once you set up your filter with the sports books and what you're willing to accept, then you're just going to receive an email anytime an arbitrage play pops up. So right here, as you can see, when we go to show results, we have 4 different results right here for some different soccer matches. Now, as we mentioned, anytime the plus odds are bigger than the minus odds, it's a guaranteed arbitrage play. Or in this example, when the over and the under on this team total shots, both plays here are plus odds. This is a guaranteed arbitrage play of 4.5%. Now, if you wanted to maybe wager $1,000 over here at Bet Rivers, you wager $1,100 over at Bet365, you're making $100 no matter what. But if you're starting out smaller, guys, as I mentioned before, maybe just start out wagering $10 and $11 for your first couple of bets, and you're going to make $1 no matter what happens. But when you're brand new to arbitrage betting, you want to start small, start slow, get your reps in, understand how these markets work, and then you can start to increase your betting size as it goes along. Something else that is going to make your life very simple is utilizing the one-click bet feature. Now, we have some sports books like DraftKings, Caesars, MGM, and FanDuel that have this bet button right here that's going to automatically pull the play up for you when you click it. It adds it to the slip, bingo, right here. All you have to do is log in and then type in the wager size. So start to target books that offer the one-click bet feature like FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, and Caesars. These are going to be books that are just going to automatically pull the play up for you. And especially if you're not really a soccer fan, you're going to have no idea who the heck Real Sociedad is or finding these team total shots. So that's another tip is when you're first starting out on your arbitrage journey, you want to target sports books that have the bet automatically loaded up. Now, when you see on a Bet365 or Bet Rivers where the game button is right here, just click the game button. It's automatically going to take you to the place where you need to go. You just need to scroll down a little bit, and what you're going to see is right here, the under 3.5 shots for Real Sociedad. As I touched on it before, something that really gets lost with arbitrage betting is if you're able to capture a 2% return each day arbitrage betting, well, 2% times 30 days in a month is a 60% ROI off of your investment, which is massive. And that's why this sports betting strategy is so lucrative. Now, another popular question that I get asked a lot is, hey, Billy, is arbitrage betting going to get my sports betting account limited? And the answer is that if you want to make money sports betting, period, doesn't matter if it's arbitrage betting, positive EV betting, or your best friend just picks winners at an incredible win rate, you're going to get limited by these sports books no matter what strategy that you implement. There's a difference between your earning potential on a sportsbook account if you're signing up today compared if you were maybe had a DraftKings account and had been using it for a few months or years. You see, the sports books love losing sports bettors. So if you have a DraftKings account and you've been betting it casually for a couple of months or years, well, there's a very high chance that you're not a profitable sports bettor, and the sports books love this. They're actually going to let you wager a lot more money on that account, so your earning potential is a lot higher when you start to implement arbitrage betting. If you open up a brand new sportsbook account today, like I did back on September 11th of 2021, I signed up with a dozen new sportsbook accounts when I was living in Arizona. Started implementing arbitrage betting immediately, and as you saw, in 2.5 weeks, I made almost $5,000. But something that gets a little bit lost is if you are someone that has been casually betting with various different sports books for months or years, you actually have a higher earning potential on that account. Another important tip is that you want to make sure that you round your bet sizes. So let's go back over the arbitrage tool so that I can show you exactly what I mean. Back over here on the arbitrage page, as we click into this purple calculator over here on the left-hand side, let's say that we wanted to wager over at Rebet $125. Well, over at Bet365, you can see that the recommended bet size is $233.42. Well, I've never met any of my friends that told me that they just placed the bet for $233.42. So what you want to do in this scenario is round this to fives and zeros. So either 235 or 230. Yes, you're going to give up $1 or $2 of profit if this play wins on Bet365, but you want to blend in and appear like a casual sports bettor. Another tip that I would provide is don't slam niche markets. What I mean by niche markets is player props like player tackles or player points. You do not want to come over here to Bet365 and wager $1,000 on the under and then wager $540 on the over. I would recommend for player prop markets to keep your wager size under $500. Now, when it comes to moneyline spreads and totals, this is where you can wager thousands of dollars because the liquidity is much higher. There's more money available that you can wager on with those markets. And that's where taking the time to set up your filters can be a massive edge for you, where you can focus on maybe just mainline markets, where you know when you receive a notification for those markets that you can wager thousands of dollars. This is, of course, after you've already placed some bets at the $5, $10, $20 level. That's when you can start to up the game, go to $50, $100, $200. The last tip that I'll provide you is you just can't be lazy when utilizing this strategy. The more time that you invest, the more money that you can make. So again, start slow. Put small amounts down first, $5, $10, $20. And then once you get the hang of it, that's where you can start to put down $100, $200, $500 utilizing this strategy. The more books that you're signed up with, the more opportunities that you're going to have, and you are going to rake in the profits. Arbitrage betting is just one profitable strategy, and there's a few others that OddsJam offers on their software that you want to make sure that you take advantage of to maximize your profits. Click this video right here that's going to walk you through, outside of arbitrage, a few other sports betting strategies that you can add to your repertoire to make consistent profits off of these greedy sports books.